Hi, Mick Brantley, auctioneer, discussing today when it would be prudent, needed largely for the seller's benefit to have a minimum bid on some sort of real property, real estate, casually as we say, but real property auction, residential home, large residential home, warehouse, industrial, bare land, mixed use, retail, whatever it happens to be. When would a minimum bid be prudent, and when would maybe it be better to sell absolute? And I only bring this question up because I saw a presentation where the folks talking that sell real property at auction said, well, in a neighborhood where there's lots of comps and lots of market information, a minimum bid can help drive traffic, benefit the seller. A minimum bid could benefit the seller where there were comps, market information, a general consensus of what the real property was worth. And conversely, if real property didn't have a lot of comps, as if that's the only way to determine value, then it'd be better to sell it absolute. I found this a fascinating argument. In fact, I hold the opposite is true, the complete opposite. If I've got a neighborhood, let's start with this. I've got a neighborhood of homes, 15, 20, 50 homes, ranging in value between $200,000 and $250,000. What's the value of all those homes in that neighborhood? Well, somewhere between 200 and 250. So I have an auction and I sell this one subject property in that neighborhood. What does everybody know about values in that neighborhood? They run anywhere from 200 to 250. Do I need a minimum bid of 170? I don't. That's a perfect absolute scenario where I've got a lot of comps. Market information is well known, well established. Conversely, I've got a neighborhood of higher priced homes. $5 million home here at the base of the hill, up on top of the hill, a $25 million something or other. And behind that and through the trees, we've got another home that's twice as big as the $25 million property. We're not sure what it's worth, but we're going to sell it at auction. What don't we have? We don't have comps. We may not have a lot of market, so-called market information. There's other ways to appraise property. Obviously, the cost approach, the income approach. We're talking about, essentially sales comparison information here to determine what that home is worth. Would there be a consensus as to what property is worth in that higher priced neighborhood? I would offer possibly not. In fact, probably not. Much more risk selling absolute in that neighborhood. A minimum bid would send a signal to people. We think it's worth at least this. And secondly, and as I've seen in courtrooms around the United States, would help better protect the seller. Seller's assured on his or her $25 million or $50 million property that it's not going to sell any less than, say, 70% or 60% of that number, a starting bid in that range of 60 to 70%. I've seen a lot of presentations about real estate at auction. I teach people about real estate at auction. When you have market information, you don't need a minimum bid necessarily. When you don't have market information, you probably do need a minimum bid or some seller protection. Mike Brantley, auctioneer. Pleasure to be with you today. Other videos on the same page, others forthcoming. Have a great day and stay safe.